doctor, but I play one on TV. I know the problem, you've got just one policy. You do the opposite of what the Donald does. Don't know what you believe just because you got that TDS. You've tested positive. There's nothing I can do for chronic low IQ. It's TDS. Open the borders, let my Donnie pick your pocket. Let the boys beat the girls, they got that extra rocket. A theology degree from Starbucks. You declare that America sucks. You got that TDS. You tested positive. There's nothing I can do for chronic low IQ. It's TDS. If you're red, alright, let's get this party started. If you're left, you're blue and probably retarded. Like Rosie, De Niro, Jimmy Kimmel, Kathy Griffin. No kings, no kidding, we don't live in Great Britain. If J6 was the worst thing you've ever seen, Soros, burning Sadie's a mostly peaceful thing. Bring back the cartels, commute their crimes, sack the fact checkers like the New York Times. He's a Nazi, a fascist, a racist dictator who lets you say what you wanna say.
Luke, I am your daddy.
You got that TDS. You tested positive. There's nothing I can do for chronic low IQ. It's TDS. No matter what he says, you must be really dumb, 'cause you keep blaming Trump for your problems.
Side effects of Trump derangement syndrome may include violent behavior, delusions, nightmares, insomnia, irrational hatred, hopelessness, anxiety, depression, blue hair, tantrums, inability to form coherent speech, difficulty maintaining gainful employment, and verbal diarrhea.
There's no cure in sight.
I crossed a frozen river in December for this bullshit. I charged San Juan Hill, and liberals need a safe space to process their emotions. They let men compete in women's sports. Dude, that is gay as fuck.
They say it's inclusive.
Inclusive of what? Seeing if your balls can fit in a bikini? They're also giving puberty blockers to children.
Why?
Because liberal parents indulge mental illness. I lost my life freeing black people. Kamala spent hers locking them up. Then they made her vice president because she's a diversity hire. What the hell is a diversity hire? They hire the worst person for the job because dumb people need representation too. Can you believe they elected a socialist mayor in New York? They elected someone who hates capitalism in the capital of capitalism. Brilliant. Maybe we should check on Canada. They might be less liberal than us now.
Nope. Still gay.
What about this new guy, Trump? He fights back, he secured the border, and he doesn't apologize for America. Think there's room up here for him? Absolutely. He's earned it.
Hey, folks, welcome to the program. We're going to, and the only reason I cut that off short, it goes a little longer, I'll put it on my Telegram, but because they use an AC/DC drop, I don't want to give anybody on the social medias an excuse to block. So I'll drop it over on my Telegram, so you'll have the full version of it. But anyway, welcome to the program. You know that there was a preliminary hearing with this Tyler Robinson. We're going to talk about what did we learn? That's the first question. The second question is, what did we really learn? There's a reason for this. Anyway, make note real quick, folks. Immediately following this program. By the way, if you are on my Rumble, you'll see a red oval. That red oval allows you to hop over and join, right? And join my locals. I'm going to be continuing another installment in the Everything About Islam series. I'm going to teach you this one. It's a little uncomfortable, but we're going to learn about Islam and beardless boys. It might be a game, beardless boy butt bongo or something like that, but Islam and beardless boys. Where does all of that come from? You know what I'm talking about, but that's going to be over at my locals. By the way, folks, today's program is brought to you by the fine folks at Goldco. I'm just asking you to go to jovanlovesgold.com. That's why I've partnered with Goldco. jovanlovesgold.com. Look, request your free gold and silver kit today, because now is the time to protect your money with gold and silver, physical gold and silver. Digital's coming, folks. It's just the way it is. You've got to understand what the hell is going on and how it's going to affect you, your family, your future. And now it's starting to make sense of, why they changed transactions down to $600 and got to track them all. And they don't do it for themselves because it's all about control. We're moving towards this. And that's why you have to understand what you can do and why you have to break free. And you have to understand the war at hand. And by the way, part of it today, we're going to cover, you got to understand how they're going to use this coming up with the wars, with the new Tyler Robinson preliminary hearing stuff, how it's all going to regurgitate, vomit again. But I'm asking you, what did you learn from all of this, right? What did you learn from all of this? Share this program. Get your family and friends to tune in. It's going to be learning time. We'll get started right after this.
This sucks. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. Some chick named Alexis Podesta was wearing a wire the whole time. Ashley, it's shower time!
I've been watching this disaster from day one. Fake news, fake investigations under Sleepy Joe, but now the truth is out.
My chief of staff ratted me out. My son Hunter is the smartest person I know. They got my wife's taxes and everything. I married my son's babysitter.
The FBI wires, the guilty pleas, the whistleblowers. Gavin Newsom is finished.
I'm gonna get investigated. Like for real this time. Where's my granddaughter?
You're all gonna be fired.
I wish I could help, but I've got my own problems to worry about.
You gotta help me out. Hey, is it normal to have poop in your pants?
What? Trump's coming after all of us.
But my wife could go to prison. Look on the bright side. What's the bright side? She can share a cell with Harvey Weinstein.
The only way out of this is a good old-fashioned Democrat distraction.
A Democrat distraction? I got the perfect distraction. So is it normal for the poop to just be squishing around in my shorts?
Where's my money, Trump? I want my $5 million now! I want you lost! Pay me! You owe me, Trump! Pay up now! Where's my money?
This sucks. I'm screwed. It's all over. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
What? It's only illegal if you get caught.
Let me help you. I'll post on X for you. I'll massage you. I'll drink your bath water. Let me smell your underwear drawer.
I didn't quit because I wanted to. I quit because I got caught.
If you don't want to go to jail, then don't get caught.
78 degrees for thee, but not for me. Deal with it, peasants. I can't go to jail. If you go to jail, then you ain't black. What? That doesn't make any sense. It's true, man.
We're above the law.
It's okay to quit, as long as you keep all the money. I am the great Joe Hollio! This is all Trump's fault!
Oh, my sweet daddy Gavin, please come home. I can't live without you.
I need corn pop for my cornhole! Corn pop! Cornhole! Yeah! Why did he have to investigate me?
Why?
Rennie Good was a gifted soul, a writer and a poet and a mother, wow. She tried to hit an agent with her car, oh no! she's gone. Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-haired and fuckables with the septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease. You fuck around and find out it's what it is. Jeffrey Pretty was a Jewish homo. Started talking shit to protect a chomo. He was getting nicked when he pulled a gun. Bam, motherfucker, now you're gone. Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-haired and fuckables with a septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease. Fuck around and find out what that is.
Are data centers going to destroy America? Will data centers and artificial intelligence rob our water supplies? Will it drive up our energy costs? What's fact? What's fiction? Here is the truth no one talks about. America must win the AI data center war or surrender the future to the great dragon. Award-winning, 4-time best-selling author, technology pioneer and futurist, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer presents the definitive manual for winning this war against China, the three-toed dragon. Communist China's secret war to end American AI and data centers. China's relentless drive for AI dominance is no longer a distant threat. Through massive state-backed infrastructure, voracious energy consumption, and strategic control of global supply chains, the CCP is building an unstoppable technological empire. While America debates policy, China executes. This is not another tech trend. It is the decisive battlefield of the 21st century where data centers, power generation, cooling systems, and sovereign energy infrastructure will determine who controls intelligence, economic supremacy, and national security. This fact book, guidebook, handbook, and war plan cuts through the noise with meticulously researched intelligence on the hidden realities of AI data center demands. Exploding power requirements, industrial-scale water usage, heat island effects, liquid cooling breakthroughs, hydrogen and off-grid solutions, semiconductor vulnerabilities, and the strategic choke points China already exploits. It delivers actionable blueprints for American victory, from policy recommendations and energy independence strategies to practical deployment models for rural and sovereign systems that bypass fragile grids and foreign dependencies. For patriots, policymakers, energy entrepreneurs, technologists, and every citizen who refuses to live under digital authoritarianism, this is the essential field manual. America still holds the innovation edge, the resource base, and the will, but only if we act with urgency and clarity. The great dragon is moving at full speed. The time to seize victory in the AI data center war is now. Available on Amazon, hardbound, paperback, and ebook. Read it. Arm yourself. Win.
Warning. The following program has been rated Gilligaff and is intended for open-minded audiences. If the truth offends you, or if you are allergic to focused intensity, intellectual athleticism, or the occasional F-bomb or even irreverent humor, please switch off now. If your delicate sensibilities need to be worried about or addressed, might we recommend the Underwater Basket Weaving channel to you? Otherwise, sit back, enjoy the wisdom, insight, and wicked sense of humor.
Cut the crap. How many times a day do you want to say that to politicians? The elite, the loony liberals, the fake news media.
In the gender-confused, emotional socialist snowflake crowd, cut the crap is your secret weapon for fighting for our freedoms and our great republic. It all begins with a massive mental enema, freeing you from the toxic news and politically correct views, which constipate your consciousness with stinking thinking. Your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer. He's known for calling out politicians and telling them to cut the crap. You've seen him on virtually every television network and listened to him on Coast to Coast Radio. And now he's here to help you learn to fight for America. Culture, race, and American politics. They all have one thing in common. They all need to cut the crap. Now, here's your host, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer.
Okay, folks, here we go. We're going to talk about what did we learn? That's the first question. My second question is, what did we really learn? It's regarding Tyler Robinson and the preliminary hearing regarding the Charlie Kirk assassination. By the way, folks, do me a favor. Give me the finger right now. It could be one finger, two finger. Hell, you can give me all 5 fingers at once. Share, like, love, subscribe, follow, whatever it is. But raise your finger and share this program. It's very important that people get factual information. I'm just going to give you factual information today. You decide what you want to do with it. You got it? And then remember, immediately when I finish this program, I'm going to hop over to my locals, JovanHuttonPulitzer.locals.com. I'm going to continue my series on Islam, and we're going to talk about Islam and beardless boys butt bingo bongo. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, okay, Tyler Robinson appeared in court. This is a preliminary hearing. Unlike things, as I understand it, that are brought, by court in, I'm having a brain fart, the word grand jury, brought by a grand jury. This has to go through a little bit different process to prove that they have more than enough evidence or probable cause to actually charge them with the murder. And that's why they're kind of doing this preliminary hearing. Now, I want to warn you, all of the sycophantic BS theory crap is going to come out. I just want to get you focused on what are the facts. But first, before we dive into it, let me share with you some of the stuff that people were saying when it comes to Charlie Kirk. Let me see if I got this first one right. I got that one very wrong. Okay. Let me share some of it. You know how everybody was a detective? It was the hat. It was the microphone. It was the signal corps, stuff like this.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Okay, you see the fellow do his arm. People's going, wait, he was doing signaling. I saw 7 rays of light. He had tennis shoes. It was special signal. Now, I'm not supposed to tell this, but my friends on the inside who know the friends on the inside who wasn't really inside but can spell inside, this was signaling.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
I played Little League Baseball, and I know that's signaling. Folks, anybody who's ever watched a baseball game knows that was signaling.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Cap, ear, twitch, rub, grab. Everybody, if you're an American, you know what that means.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Okay, and everybody did their analysis of this crap?
Every single player is getting different call signs. That is definitionally different.
Did you catch it? Did you catch it? If every single player is getting different call signs, look at the look on Dan Flood's face. Do you see the smile? Do you see the laugh? He's not looking randomly to his right. He's looking at someone. Have we been gaslit on whether there was a signal at the exact moment or milliseconds before the purported shot rang out?
Even people are talking. There was a man next to the man that was signaling the man who was signaling next to the man. I saw the signal. Were we being gaslit? Because they didn't give us the signal handbook. You remember all this?
Every single player is getting different call signs. That is definitionally different.
Did you catch it? Did you catch it? If every single player is getting different call signs, look at the look on Dan Flood's face. Do you see the smile? Do you see the laugh? He's not looking randomly to his right. He's looking at someone. Have we been gaslit on whether there was a signal at the exact moment or milliseconds before the purported shot rang out?
You know, I think about that one. He did his bicep. He did this. In my team insignia, I do that all the time. For some reason, I guess it's because the tattoo itches, right? Most people never see this one at all. And it's like, I can understand that. Something about me and ink in my body, it makes me itch. But was he itching to call the snipers in? No, he wasn't. Because everybody knows the guy went, poo.
Gang violence. Great. Gang violence. Great. Gang violence. Great. Gang violence. Great.
I saw him raise his hand and shoot. You can catch it. He's pulling it up shooting.
Gang violence. Great. Gang violence. Great. Gang violence. Great. Gang violence. Great.
Or was he rubbing his nipple? Inquiring minds want to know. I like this one because it follows the bullet. Watch the bullet in slow motion. See if you can find out where the bullet goes. Oh no, you can see the bullet's wings. Oh my goodness, the bullet is a drone bumblebee. See? Oh, it was, and there it is. I'm doing my
You know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Anyway, do you remember all this bullshit? That was a bumblebee, by the way. But do you remember everybody coming up with theories and whatever? Well, it's all going to be revived because you know, it's just a trick to fool us all. I have it from the inside.
Today, Erica Kirk faces the man accused of killing her husband Charlie Kirk in court for the first time. But while the media focuses on the trial, many Americans are less than convinced by the official story.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's analyze this one. Do you know who King Baldwin is? He was the king of Jerusalem. Did you know that? He ascended to the throne when he was a young guy in 1174. He was the, should we say it, the crusading king of Jerusalem. He was the hereditary monarch and a direct line of descendants. And he stayed there from 1174 till 1185. The original he had horrible disfiguration from childhood leprosy in his face, kind of eaten away. But they did it in this mass. So the very first thing I want you to understand about this little bullshit clip I'm going to show you, it's tying in, you know, he was to save the world. He was to protect the crusade. He was to protect the people. Do you get the messaging? Okay. So let me show you this little Nick Fuentes, not Nick Fuentes, but don't think it's Nick Fuentes, but it's Nick Fuentes video.
Today, Erica Kirk faces the man accused of killing her husband Charlie Kirk in court for the first time. But while the media focuses on the trial, many Americans are less than convinced by the official story. From the high-caliber round that somehow didn't pass through the soft tissue of his neck.
I see people commenting, this is Guy Fawkes. No, that's different side of the ocean. This is Nick Fuentes, this is the United States, and that would actually, I guess, officially be Guy Fag. It's a whole different one. But watch, pay attention.
Today, Erica Kirk faces the man accused of killing her husband Charlie Kirk in court for the first time. But while the media focuses on the trial, many Americans are less than convinced by the official story. From the high-caliber round that somehow didn't pass through the soft tissue of his neck, to the crime scene being paved over the following day, an aggressive silencing of Charlie's closest friend Candace Owens, when she began questioning the strange inconsistencies in the official story. Adding to the suspicion, while Charlie had long been a vocal pro-Israel voice in politics and was heavily funded by Jewish donors, he openly stated he was a...
Okay. Can you maybe take a pen and paper on this one? And I'll let it play through in a minute. Just hang on. Who is this video about? Well, they get you to watch because it's about Charlie Kirk. Everybody wants to answer. But look at the propensity of the content. What are they really talking about? Candace was right. It's a conspiracy. It's the Jews. Pay attention to this messaging because it's about to go full gear again.
Today, Erica Kirk faces the man accused of killing her husband Charlie Kirk in court for the first time. But while the media focuses on the trial, many Americans are less than convinced by the official story. From the high-caliber round that somehow didn't pass through the soft tissue of his neck, to the crime scene being paved over the following day, an aggressive silencing of Charlie's closest friend Candace Owens, when she began questioning the strange inconsistencies in the official story. Adding to the suspicion, while Charlie had long been a vocal pro-Israel voice in politics and was heavily funded by Jewish donors, he openly stated he was abandoning the pro-Israel cause in the last days of his life, claiming the donors were beginning to resemble every negative stereotype he had once rejected. Charlie was also opposed to a war with Iran, calling it on multiple occasions Israel's war, and was even heard arguing with top Trump advisors in the White House against such an action. Just days later, he was assassinated. Turning Point USA wasted no time in replacing Charlie with his wife Erica, a woman who comes with her own long list of controversies and questions, including running a foreign orphanage in a country she's been banned from. Erica has openly and publicly demanded that Candace enter investigation into her husband's death, famously saying,
"Stop."
TPUSA has been in damage control since they failed to successfully ship Erica to the public, even releasing an AI video of Charlie Kirk saying,
I appoint my wife to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Erica would do a great job.
And when the public called them out, TPUSA attempted to sell the story that they were trolling the public with the video, and that we were never meant to believe it was real in the first place, which is less believable than the video itself. Many questions are left without an answer, and it is clear that Turning Point USA and Erica Kirk are doing everything within their power to keep it that way.
Shovel, 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 shovel. Shovel, shovel, shovel. Pause. Go get your waders on. Shovel, 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 shovel. Now, I want you to think back to the horrible thing that happened to Charlie Kirk, who was silenced because Charlie Kirk was probably the only real hardcore truth teller out there. And the left hated him just as much as the GOP because he made the GOP look like a bunch of idiots the GOP are. And the GOP wants to control young minds, and Charlie was getting young minds, and so they had to try to get control of it. All of this is going to regenerate again. But the first question I ask you, and that's why I have two questions, folks, when it comes to this Tyler Robinson preliminary hearing. The first question is, what did we learn? The second question is, what did we really learn? That's the question I have for you. I even watched it in chat. Well, the second person was giving signals and this was doing this. You've got to understand, the system needs chaos. In order for it to do what it needs to do to us as American citizens, it needs chaos. It needs you debating whether Big Bird is yellow or Chick-fil-A is actually chicken, and is it a filet? This one little bit I showed you with Fuentes Baldwin is all psychological warfare. That's why I showed you even that one BS video and let it play. They don't want you. They're going to use Charlie as the anchor to get you to watch, and then they're going to force feed you their message. Candace was great. No, she's not a hood rat. She's an investigative journalist. Did you not know she interned for Glamour magazine before she started talking about politics? Duh. They know that Glamour magazine only has unpaid interns that are incredible political pundits. The warfare in social media is every day. And if you fall for it, if you actually fall for it, you don't watch the video enough to see like that one, it's a bumblebee. You don't question why is a choir teacher telling you, well, that was signals and he was signaling to people so they could triangulate the shot and do it. It's because your brain has been crushed. You ever wonder why in my program that I use a particular term, crap, culture, race, and American politics? It's because if we're going to save ourselves, it's got to begin with a mental enema. People have such a hard time keeping the information, the organization right in their brain. They just kind of don't know when to stop. You don't know when not to consume. And so this crap in your brain clogs it. And that's what the system needs. The system absolutely needs you to reject everything, to get something that they can psychologically, sycophantively, vampirically energy connect to control you. So that's why I'm asking the question, what did we learn? Now, I'm asking you to ask yourself this question primarily. What did we learn? The first thing I'm asking you, and I'm really going to the second question first, have you thought about all the time that has transpired since all of this Charlie Kirk crap happened? Have you thought about everybody that talked about it and said they had the inside scoop of the inside scoop of the inside scoop? Have you thought about that? Long before we get to even the facts of what's really true, have you audited it yourself? Are you still following people that told you it was a super secret Israeli exploding microphone? I want you to ask yourself that question. Are you still following people that say, well, it was really this and it was this and Eric Kirk's bad? Are you still following that? Because I need you to ask yourself a question. Why do you consume that? Let me tell you why you consume it. Because your brain has been trained not to get facts, but to get overly stimulated. In the chaos that the system creates and shows everything out of control, you want to believe that somebody's figuring it out and somebody has control. This is why it's always about, you got to cut that crap out of your brain. You've got to get a mental enema. Social media can be great for all of us getting together, but it is absolutely the single worst thing that has ever happened to humankind. Social media can be great for getting out information. At the same time, it is absolutely the most detrimental thing that has ever happened to mankind. Because why? We don't dig anymore. We don't look at facts. We tend to give credence to people we don't know. So I'm asking you the question, did you literally go through a mental enema? Answer it honestly. All the people that were telling you, oh, nope, it was the secret microphone, it was the guy in the audience with this. Are you still watching them? it was really an Israeli operation for this and this. Are you still watching? I want you to answer it honestly. I need you to ask yourself, why is it you can't bring yourself to pick that dingleberry out of your ass hairs and get rid of it so it doesn't bother you anymore? Why is that? See, you want to know how our system is broken, why it's bad. But now at the same time, you're addicted to chaos. But you want it fixed. It irritates you. But you won't even pull that dingleberry and fix yourself. But you expect other people to do it. The problem is you aren't expecting other people to do it. We have been taught to take our brains and to throw it in the fucking trash can. And I use that. That's why I asked, what did we really learn? Did you really learn that people you give your time to, which, by the way, wake up, folks, it's a vote. You vote with your ballot. You vote with your money. You vote with your time. And by the way, that ballot, money, and time either brings peace or bullets. Yeah. You vote with your ballot. You vote with your money. You vote with your time. When you gave $18 million plus to defend Mike Lindell, who basically did not have the PCAPs and admitted in court, you voted that I still want to get that message out because I like this guy. And you voted to the tune of $18,300,000 worth. That's what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is self-accountability and auditing yourself. And what I realize in this fast-paced environment is people are addicted to chaos. Well, here's what happens. If you don't focus and you don't get facts, you can never get away from chaos. You constantly live in a state of chaos. So just be honest. Just be honest with yourself. If you don't want to put it in chat, that's fine. But here's what I'm saying. Did you ever, of all the people that came up with the theories, it's the Jews, it's the Islamists, it's this, and this, and this, and this, and it was not really there, and it was just a patsy, and it was this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and then this, and it was really a combination of telephone triggering the mic, which triggered the repeater, which shot, and that's why it didn't. You now know it's all bullshit to get clicks and distraction and chaos. I'm asking you, did you cut that cancer out of your life? Are you strong enough? Were you strong enough back then that you could look at it and go, wait a minute, but Candace was Charlie Kirk's best friend. I want you to know, if you want this cancer cut out of your life, if you want the chaos quieted so we can focus and win, you've got to accept you are responsible for you. Most people are treating social media, it's this weird phenomenon. We treat social media only because we can gather here through our mobile devices and stuff. We treat it as the media. And we already know media was buffoon and entertainment and nothing real. Even remember my whole program on the Tucker excuse? The Tucker defense, which is now legally used, where they claim, well, people can't expect that Tucker was supposed to tell the truth. It's entertainment. And he gets off out of a huge defamation suit. You only hot swapped. See, that's what the system knew. We'll just move you from mainstream media, let you bitch about them. We'll put you over here and we'll corral you. Don't you remember all the people saying, get off that platform because it's not a patriot and we were going to patriot. And I've released a new program called I'm a Patriot. I'm the most incredible patriot. See my cross outside my shirt. I will tell you who I am.com. Join now. And you went into a group of people that openly will embrace, amplify, cross-examine, and re-examine conspiracies fed to you by the system. And you become what? You become a professor of bullcrap. And then you think you're going to go save the world because I'm sharing what I learned. I saw it. I watched that kid who worked at Taco Bell and a lumberjack and a professor who's not really a professor at a junior college, which taught one singular class on how to set up a corporation. And he's my law guy. This is the war, folks. This is why I'm looking at what you learn. Now, I want you to think about that for the rest of the program here, because what we're going to talk about is one, I just did, what did we really learn? I want to talk about what did we learn, period. What did we learn from this preliminary trial? By the way, did you watch it? Anybody? So this took place in the 4th district, which is the Provo district in Utah. Now, what this is multi-day proceedings, and you don't even understand this. You actually think it's a trial in the sense of it's a trial, what's going to happen. It's a trial only to determine if there was probable cause to bring him to trial. Isn't that weird? It's not an indictment. This is a pretrial to determine if there is enough evidence to even bring him to trial. Remember, Candace, I'm going to go down and I'm going to testify on his behalf. It was the Jews. So at its most basic thing, and understand what you're looking at, is there going to be a trial? Now, we don't officially have an answer yet. That's why I want to go into this, because it could go 50-50, folks. Well, there's not enough. See, I told you it was the Jews, and they did it. They went off the judge, and they did this because I read the PCAP report that Mike Lindell put out, and it actually predicted. If you look at the numbers 21, 7, and 13 in a row, and it appears 44 times in that document, it predicted this. So the first thing to understand is this is just a pre-trial. And all it is about is the September 10th, 2025 assassination of Charlie Kirk. It is trying to determine, can they bring him to trial for aggravated murder? They're seeking the death penalty, but the actual charge is aggravated murder. Now, this is where you normally don't get to see this, so I think this is good. You normally don't get to see this type of proceeding. Why? Because it's normally done to a grand jury. Grand juries are secret. A prosecutor, whatever the case, will go, they'll convene a citizens grand jury. The grand jury will look at the evidence in a pretrial, and then they will decide, is this enough to bring the charges and arrest them? That's just what it is. There is a benefit, actually, in following this, because the first thing you're going to get is, how does a grand jury work? Right? How does a grand jury work? How does the system get to present information to even decide, are we going to indict? So it's aggravated murder. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. Now, what the prosecutors are presenting during this, right, is a public event, right? And if this fellow, because he could be out and doesn't have to necessarily sit in jail, they're going to decide, could he be a reasonable risk to others? Now, the risk of him not actually going to trial is very low, because the standard in this type of procedure is low. Why? This is not the trial where you have to establish balance of probability, scales of justice, reasonable, beyond a reasonable doubt. This is not what this is. It's just basically open your cards. What do you have? And at the lowest evidentiary form, other than I saw it on Alex Jones and he said it, they got to look at the facts. Okay. This will take a week. During this week of this evidence being presented, you're going to see several things. You're going to see everybody that rapes you for clicks trying to get your click in a vice. Sounds weird, but you know what I'm talking about. Everybody's going to come out with their theories. Everybody who got you to click and watch convinced you it was a microphone and it was the Jews, and look at all the Jewish Israeli jets and everything. All that crowd is going to come roaring back because they need to get you back in the fold. Now, that's a mix between fools, dumbasses, idiots, fraudcasters, and then people that are paid to do it. The people that are paid to do it have a very sophisticated script that's provided to them. Then the fraudcasters, I'm not a lumberjack. I'm not a child daycare worker. I'm an election integrity proponent. Don't you watch my program? They're going to come up, and then everybody's going to try to emulate it. Now, this kid Robinson has, but has not officially offered a plea. He's admitted it, but he hasn't officially admitted it. Some of the things you're going to see in this is the death penalty admissible in this case based on the core facts, okay? So, again, this is where I showed you before. I showed you only the technical aspects. They said the shot didn't come out of a 30-06 caliber. Anybody that's hunted deers knows it can't do that. It'd blow their head off. No, it won't. No, it doesn't. And oh, by the way, the ballistics report is the bullet is so damaged because of the many impacts of bone that it can't be 100% identified to the rifle, but is in fact a 30-06, and the odds are it did come from this rifle. But because it's to a court standard, we can't say it is, but we are not disqualifying, okay? Also during this, you're going to see a lot of the incident angles, all of the other footage you've never seen, footage of him going up on the building, footage of him coming off the building, footage of him wrapping up the weapon, footage of him ditching the weapon, text. You're going to hear all kinds of stuff that Candace and everybody else forgot to tell you about. It's because they didn't have it. So you're going to be able to see all of that. You're also going to see a lot of creation of the sniper's alley in this. It was a direct downward shot. The easiest shot in the world to make is a downward shot. Pop quiz! Why is a downward angle shot easier to make than any other shot in the world, much less a level shot? Why is that? Do you know? Do you know why that is? Sniper perched on high. Why is the accuracy of any shot taken from on high better than, here you go, gravity? It's that simple. Even at a level shot, that bullet has a trajectory. Gravity's going to take over, which means you can miss your shot. So the shooter has to overcompensate calculating the shot. And if they can't calculate the shot, they're going to miss. One of the things that negate that is gravity, and how you negate it is getting a sniper on high. Do you know why they always get the sniper to the high position? Let me ask you that again. Do you know why they always put the sniper at the high position? The odds at which it creates your ability, increases your ability at success, super high. And it was a straight alley shooting fish in a bucket. That's it. That's it. Anybody who's ever hunted in their life, shot a BB gun or a 22 at targets or whatever, can make this one on how it was shooting down a throttle. But again, everybody's got to debate that. Oh, wait a minute. Another guy admitted he did it. They didn't talk about that. They didn't talk about that guy. Say another guy admitted he did it. Yeah, the guy standing right in front, his name was George Zen. I did it, I did it, I did it. Shot from a distance, runs through a crowd of thousands, right? In under 200 yards, goes there, not sweating. I did it, I did it, I did it. Nobody looks at that. But yeah, they had a person who even admitted they're not doing it. Well, he was a mental patient. And later said he did it to cause additional chaos because he was a leftist and a protester that was there, okay? Also, what you're going to understand in this pre-trial. This is pre-trial, folks. I just want you to understand what you're seeing in this process. This is pre-trial. There's tons of footage of him going to the campus multiple times, 4 visits, okay? Scoping out the campus, planning his thing. You're going to see all of that. You're going to find out that the weapon that is suspected has its DNA on it. It was his grandfather's weapon, which he used quite a bit. You're going to find that out. And then you're going to learn some inconvenient truths like the world is dying because we're not going to be able to live on the coastlines because of the floods. Oh, wait, that was so many years ago. That was Al Gore. But anyway, you're going to find out that this kid texted his beardless boy. Kind of like what we're going to talk about on my follow-up program of this when you jump over at Locals right over this program. We're going to talk about why grown men can diddle beardless boys and it not be a problem. Well, it's because they're beardless. Well, this fellow, Tyler Robinson, had his own beardless boy who thought he was a girl. And there are texts and messages he left to his lover. Look under the keyboard. Here's a note. I got to stop this hate. I hate it. I hate what you're going through as a trans woman. And then, you're going to learn about his struggles. You're going to learn about that when Tyler Robinson got with his girlfriend, right? With his messages, you're going to learn that Tyler Robinson, the first time he was with his girlfriend, there's actually footage that he's sitting on the end of the bed crying. And the girlfriend tells him, look, Tyler, there's nothing wrong with having a little bitty wiener. And Tyler's struggling. And he says, yeah, but not on a woman. Anyway, he texted. He had enough of this hatred. He had enough of this stuff, etc. They're still trying to figure out if the boyfriend, girlfriend, she friend, he friend, whatever you want to call it, is going to testify. At its most minimus thing is it is felony discharge of a firearm. And so they may sentence Tyler to prison where he can continue to have sex with men all he wants several times a day and call it punishment. Yeah. They're gonna look at that, right? Obstructing justice, witness tampering, endangering of others because it endangered others, right? This is what's going to be up for grabs. Now, it's going to be kind of contentious because Erica Kirk's there, Charlie Kirk's there. I wonder if the Jews flew him in. I wonder if they have a Bible. That's 99.6% Jewish. See, that proves it. Every time I do Alex Jones, I ruin my voice. So you're going to see all that crap. I have to do my voice a certain way to do it. And I kill it, just like Alex's voice. Anyway, and I drooled. So Erica will be there. And you know what's going to happen 100%? She's going to cry. But those tears aren't really tears. That's really drama to hide the... You'd cry too. We all should cry over Charlie Kirk. We lost a great man who would have been one of the best presidents this country would have ever had, and he would have made it. That's why they took him out. And he'd been a young president, and they can't have somebody that has that long of a tenure. That's why they need him about 80, so they die off real quick. Anyway, so Donald Trump Jr. and his girlfriend was there. There's going to be some graphic testimony. Absolutely, she's going to cry. It's going to be horrible stuff. And then you're going to have to deal with realities that Robinson turned himself in. Well, duh. Of course he turned himself in. I have it on a good authority of a friend of mine inside who never investigated, said he ate bagels and lox for breakfast that morning. And everybody knows there are Jewish potions in there that made him do that. And therefore, because he ate that Jew poison of lox and bagels, of course he turned himself in. But I'm telling you, it's the Jews. So you're going to deal with the fact that he turned himself in. You're going to deal with the fact there's a ton of surveillance all over the place, which they did right for conviction in not releasing it. But they also let a lot of people hang themselves of being fraudsters, being fraudcasters. Total bullshit. I don't know about you, but I'm telling you, if somebody puts out a total bullshit story that's this absolute bullshit story, not on facts, don't take their position of talking to people seriously. You need to dump them as fast as you can. And then you're going to do you're going to see basic crime stuff. There's a timeline and he's there. There's a pre-timeline, he's there. There's a during timeline, he's there. There's a post-timeline, and he's tied to it. There's physical evidence. There is his presence and the opportunity to do it. However, you know what's interesting? The defense. You know what one of the defense issues was? What's gonna be the defense? Well, we have it on good authority from conservative broadcasters that they talked to people in the FBI that the Jews did it. And we've got to bring in that evidence. Now, do you understand some of the Candace people's job in that bullshit? It's kind of like Tina Peters. Tina Peters did not get to defend doing her job because the lawyers were hired by Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell wants to prove the machines are bad, and it was all about that shit. And Tina paid. Same thing is, when these fraudcasters come in and espouse their theories and put it out there and they come out, they're going to try to get some of these theories in court to get this guy out. So you actually have to understand, you got people that are paid to stir up, could probably get called to testify to cloud the issue. That's their job. To fraudcasters and clickbaiters that say we're saving America, that are actually aiding and abetting the enemy to help get this guy off. And then what is the fraudcaster and clickbaiter going to say? See, I told you, the court didn't find it. Well, it was the Jews. Do you understand how this vicious cycle works in all of this? Do you understand how each feeds the other? If the system can seed chaos, if enough people, 10 million people, saw the microphone explode and it's a hidden bullet, and because we know Israel exploded pagers on Hamas, well, it can be done, you might actually see some of that testimony come in. It is all designed to create chaos. And by the way, the judge in some cases has to allow that evidence to come in. I even hear that the shot was impossible and had a third and a fourth shooter. I have it on good authority. They did a survey and they looked at the 2010 consensus of how many people could shoot a gun. They ran it statistically by age. They knocked on 1,000 doors to see if it was the Jews. And then they looked at 4 counties in Michigan, no less, and decided that it took somebody who could actually know what the fuck a 6-degree polynomial is. And we know this Tyler Robinson was dumb as shit, so he couldn't have possibly done it. That's how this stuff goes. Which again goes to that second thing of what I really mean by this. What did we really learn here? When you share bullshit based on no facts, you personally are aiding and abetting an enemy. You probably loved Charlie Kirk. You probably agree he was a great man. One of the greatest. I can't even describe it, even mathematically. The kid was a superstar. Designed for good things. How many times did you click share and reshare people's analogy? Well, it was really this, and it was the exploding. How many times did you do that? Because see, you paid for that. You paid to help corrupt the system. You paid to taint this jury. Every time you watch Candace or all these other people espousing shit, and you thought it was mildly interesting, you paid for that campaign. Which basically ends up, you paid to corrupt a jury pool. Every time you click that bullshit because your favorite podcaster that was originally at Taco Bell, or I used to be with the CIA, I'm former CIA, and I'm so good they didn't kill me for telling the secrets of the CIA, but I'm whistleblowing the secrets of the CIA, and I hope you believe that. Can't confirm it, but I want you to believe it. How many times did you share these ideas, theories, and bullshit about Charlie? Now you look back at it, it's pretty plain cut. You bought that, babe. You paid for it with your own time, your own vote. You gave time to it. Oh, you gave money too. You just didn't donate money. You donated what it would have cost them to pay for an eyeball. You got your family to play because they click too, and every one of your friends click too. And you funded a massive hundreds of millions of dollars campaign on bullshit theories. This is how it works. That's why I'm asking you, how are we responsible for this stuff? And in this society of bullshit social media, we are, right? We are dead. And yes, Mitch McConnell, according to the White House, is officially brain dead. I don't think Tyler Robinson's going to talk about it. But here's the real question on that one. Was he brain dead when they found him from the heart attack, or was he brain dead before? Well, newsflash, he was brain dead before, and he sold his soul a long time ago and became soulless. That's the system. Well, I'll use that. I'll run with that for a minute since that topic came up. You know, he's one who says it was a horrible insurrection of the Capitol. We saw it all, and it was. You saw him. Okay, so one of the bad guys gone. Did you feel the seismic change of anything? Because now he's incarcerated in hell? No. Did the system instantly change from a rhino? Are all rhinos gone? Did it fix everything? Mitch McConnell's gone? No. He was a bad guy. You knew he was a bad guy. He hated Trump. He's gone. Will it change anything? Not a fucking thing. The same way it won't change it if they arrest Hillary for her email server. Will it change a thing? Not a fucking thing. The only thing that has to change her to get changes is you and how you deal with this stuff. That's the news flash. That's why I'm asking you, what'd you learn? What'd you learn? What is conspiracy? What is real? Well, Tyler Robinson didn't do it. It was the Jews. Then why did Tyler Robinson send a note to his butt buddy saying, what are you doing right now? Drop everything you're doing. Look under your keyboard. Wasn't lube, wasn't a condom. I hear he didn't need any. But you know what I'm saying? It was a note of him saying, I had enough of this. Some hate cannot be negotiated out. I've gone to do something about it. Did Candace tell you that? It wasn't really his note. We have it on good authority. Somebody of Jewish descent wrote that note. This is why it's really a double-edged sword here, folks. One, what did we learn? Two, what did we really learn? I challenge you to mark down how many broadcasts that now this trial has started are going to regurgitate every bullshit theory, tell you they're not going to allow them in court. Well, they won't allow our evidence in court. We had the Dominion guy on an Antifa call, and the judge is crooked and it won't show it. He won't allow our evidence. What you don't know behind the scenes is it's a fucking Post-it note, handwritten, and they don't even know where it came from. They can't allow it for evidence. Oh, they didn't let us produce our evidence. We've got it hand down, prove everyone. 3,800 counties. You mean you polled 1,000 people, you looked at the 2010 survey, and you looked at 4 counties in Michigan to tell us what exactly happened in Mesa? They won't let us present the evidence. It's crooked. No, it's because it's not fucking evidence. But see, you think, oh, it's all corrupt, they're all on it. That's what the system needs. The system will try to convince you it's evidence, it's evidence, it's evidence, it's evidence, get you to buy into it because they wear a cross on the outside of their blue shirt. And then when you don't see it in court, see, it proves the court was bad. Do you understand what we are trapped in? And all of this is going to be regurgitated with this Tyler Robinson. He also tells his lover, right? I understand he was a good artist. They asked him to draw a picture of his lover. All he could do for some weird reason is draw the back of his head. But I digress. But he said, delete all of this exchange. And he mentioned, and I am going to turn myself in, by the way. It's all in evidence. But what are you going to hear about? What are people going to focus on? And so here's what I'm asking of you in this. Maybe in all of this, audit yourself. Maybe in all of this, ask the questions. What did I learn? What did I really learn? Maybe when it's going on and you see this evidence, maybe you step back, get out of your head of all the shit that's been crapped in your fucking cranium. That's why my show's called Crap. It's culture, race, and American politics. It's all crap. And what you do, go through a visualization practice. When you hear some of these evidentiary things, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to think about it. Either, where somebody's holding the white cards and the words change, or think of it as a ticker tape going across the screen. And in your mind, force yourself to read it. I know that sounds really weird, but I'm telling you it works. In this trial, you have an opportunity to audit you. You have an opportunity in all of this footage that's going to be coming out to audit your vote. Yeah, you become a vote auditor. Why? You vote with your ballot, you vote with your time, you vote with your money. So as you watch some of these claims come, I want you to close your eyes, do an exercise. Think of it as a ticker tape scrolling across the screen. Let me see if I can do that for you. Here we go. Let me see if I can make it a ticker. Hold on. Edit. Scroll, save, ticker. Okay, think of it as a ticker tape across the screen. Don't let your mind take off. Force yourself to slow down when you hear it. Don't think, oh, I heard Candace. Think of it as that little ticker tape across the screen. Slow down and read it to yourself. Somebody says, I feel like you don't trust our judgment. Okay, if you haven't been with me long enough, let me tell you the tense which I speak in. I speak on every single program as if you've never watched me. Why do I do that? I talk during my broadcast as if it's the first time you've met me, the first time you're evaluating me, the first time you're judging me, and I want you to understand where I come from. Why do I do that? Because you've been with me. If you've been here for a while, I know you know the drill. And so you're in. We got to win new souls. So I basically talk from new souls. Well, you're like degrading. You're talking down to me like I did. No, I'm not. I'm not talking to you. I take for granted you fucking know the difference. So think of my broadcast, and the reason I do what I do sometimes is somebody's finally saw my announcement, clicked in, and they want to learn. If I was to take that every one of you know what you know, do you understand how short my show would be? And I'd be stating facts that would be over people's head. They wouldn't get it. When I told you, the calibration was out, and it was 9,000 times past the allowable calibration for the HPs. Somebody go, what the fuck is this guy talking about? So I want you to understand something when it comes to my program. I will always talk as if it's the person's first time in the room with me, because this is about saving souls. And if we're going to save our country, we've got to get more people that understand it, more people that know how to execute on it, and more people willing to do it. Now, I kind of treat it as a catch-all. Why do I treat it as a catch-all? Sometimes people need to hear it several times, so I catch them in that as well. But I'm talking to the brand new newbie. So, as you watch this trial unfold, what I'm going to ask you to do is audit yourself. Think about what you've heard. Don't immediately go in your mind to the podcasters and fraudcasters shit. No. Literally think about it. And when you hear facts come up in your mind, because you can do this, learn this exercise. Read it like a ticker tape. You know why? It's called once removing you psychology. It actually forces you to disassociate what you think you've already know and to look at it as a fact from the outside. See, that's what I want you to do. I want you to get outside the influence because you've been subjected to a ton of it. And if you do this one little, you can do it in anything. Try this technique with me, right? Look at it in your head as a ticker tape and read it to yourself in your mind. I'm telling you what, here's what's really interesting. If you can learn that one technique, there's many ways to do it, and I may do a whole program on it, but if you can learn this one technique, what will happen is you will disconnect your thinking process from the emotional feelings process. And what you gain is incredible focus and clarity, which is where we need to get. Because here's the deal. The defense in this stuff is going to say, well, we think it was an Israeli blowing up magnaphone. And we heard it because this person's been seen at the White House. And they said they talked to somebody on the inside. And they said that they claimed it. They can't say who it is. It's anonymous. But that just shows the White House is holding it back. If we can learn this, and if you can learn this technique, now I'm speaking to you, who've been with me for a while. If you can learn this technique, you will set yourself free. You think you're clear now. You think you can see these things with clarity. Master this technique, and I'm telling you, the benefits that come from it are absolutely amazing. Right? Absolutely amazing. And that's why the focus of my program is not Spencer Pratt. Did you know that? Did you know that the focus of my program is not Spencer Pratt? The focus of my program right now is to focus on learning this technique. And as far as I know, Spencer Pratt didn't release a video. Why did I say that? Boom, chat goes another direction. I can prove this point over and over and over and over and over. The one thing we have lost control of predominantly as a society is our ability to focus. You can be shared a revolutionary idea of how to get more focused, how to audit the system, but where your brain went is, hey, watch this new video. I want you to think about that. Nobody does this willingly. It's become normal. Change this up and boom. Oh, did you? It's become normal. And everybody has the same issue. How can we fucking change this mess? Get it? How can we change this mess? I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom on how to change this mess. And it's no lawmaker. And it's no judge. And it's no system. It's you. Now, the benefits of mastering this is a lot more shit won't bother you because you see it clearly. As you teach other people to see it clearly, you find the burden on your shoulders, because you take it personally, gets lifted. Because what you're doing is what matters. Setting people free. And if you set yourself free and you help set enough people free, what happens is that crushing you feel right now that my country's dying. I know you feel it. That crushing of, we're never going to get out of this. Do you know that crushing weight gets lifted? Because all of a sudden you're zoned in. Bang. You see it for what it is, how it occurs, and how we do it to ourselves. Then you got a new mission in life. And what's your new mission in life? Teach people how to do this. Now, could you imagine if we could take 1 million fine-tuned people that understand what's at play, how they do it, how we embed it in ourselves? Do you understand the ramification of what's happened? We're about to have a gift, folks. Here is their gift. We are literally going to be able to watch this preliminary hearing. We're going to get the benefit of second and third sight. Second sight is we're looking at after the fact. And we're going to be able to see things of the court deciding, is this evidence? Now you're going to take everything you ever learned about evidence because of this program, and you're going to get third sight. And third sight is, wow, how do we lose control of these things so many times? Why? Because it pushes it up to the first one. That's the gift that's going to come to this. Charlie Kirk's assassination, even as horrible as it was and disastrous, I wish it never happened, can also be a gift if we understand what we're supposed to learn from it, what we're supposed to really see from it, and we don't let the deceptive forces take over. So I'm asking you, try that little ticker tape trick when you hear these things, and then audit yourself. Audit yourself, and you might find it sets you free. Now, by the way, I'm going to hop over to my locals. Here it is, JovanHuttonPulitzer.locals.com. You'll see it pop up in chat. I'll run the show credits a little longer so you have time to get there. And we are going to talk about Islam and beardless boys. They're going to kill the gays, but they've been boinking boys themselves their entire adulthood, but they're not gay. Clarity. And I'm going to give you clarity on Islam. And that's how we cut the crap. Folks, share this program. I'll see you on the flip side. Share this program.
Rennie Good was a gifted soul, a writer and a poet and a mother, wow. She tried to hit an agent with her car, oh no! Pop, motherfucker, now she's gone! Yeah! Being a fucking liberal is a mental disease. Blue-headed fuckables with the septum ring. You are not a hero, you're a fucking disease! You fuck around and find out it's what it is! Jeffrey Pretty was a Jewish homo. Started talking shit to protect a chomo.
This sucks. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. Some chick named Alexis Podesta was wearing a wire the whole time. Ashley, it's shower time!
I've been watching this disaster from day one. Fake news, fake investigations under Sleepy Joe, but now the truth is out.
My chief of staff ratted me out. My son Hunter is the smartest person I know. They got my wife's taxes and everything. I married my son's babysitter.
The FBI wires, the guilty pleas, the whistleblowers. Gavin Newsom is finished.
I'm gonna get investigated. Like for real this time. Where's my granddaughter?
You're all gonna be fired.
I wish I could help, but I've got my own problems to worry about.
You gotta help me out. Hey, is it normal to have poop in your pants?
What? Trump's coming after all of us.
But my wife could go to prison. Look on the bright side. What's the bright side? She can share a cell with Harvey Weinstein.
The only way out of this is a good old-fashioned Democrat distraction.
A Democrat distraction? I got the perfect distraction. So is it normal for the poop to just be squishing around in my shorts?
Where's my money, Trump? I want my $5 million now! I want you lost! Pay me! You owe me, Trump! Pay up now! Where's my money?
This sucks. I'm screwed. It's all over. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
What? It's only illegal if you get caught.
Let me help you. I'll post on X for you. I'll massage you. I'll drink your bath water. Let me smell your underwear drawer.
I didn't quit because I wanted to. I quit because I got caught.
If you don't want to go to jail, then don't get caught.
78 degrees for thee, but not for me. Deal with it, peasants. I can't go to jail. If you go to jail, then you ain't black. What? That doesn't make any sense. It's true, man.
We're above the law.
It's okay to quit. As long as you keep all the money. I am the great Joe Hollio! This is all Trump's fault!
Oh, my sweet daddy Gavin, please come home. I can't live without you.
I need corn pop for my cornhole! Corn pop! Cornhole! Yeah! Why did he have to investigate me?
Why?
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. I know the problem, you've got just one policy. You do the opposite of what the Donald does. Don't know what you believe just because you got that TDS. You've tested positive. There's nothing I can do for chronic low IQ. It's TDS. Open the borders, let Mamdani pick your pocket. Let the boys beat the girls, they got that extra rocket. A theology degree from Starbucks. You declare that America sucks. You got that TDS. You've tested positive. There's nothing I can do for chronic low IQ. It's TDS. Let's get this party started. If you're left, you're blue and probably retarded. Like Rosie, De Niro, Jimmy Kimmel, Kathy Griffin. No kings, no kidding. We don't live in Great Britain. If J6 was the worst thing you've ever seen, Soros, burning Sadies, a mostly peaceful thing. Bring back the cartels, commute their crimes, sack the fact checkers like the New York Times. He's a Nazi, a fascist, a racist dictator who lets you say what you want to say.
Luke, I am your daddy.
You got that TDS. You've tested positive. There's nothing I can do for chronic low IQ. It's TDS. No matter what he says, you must be really dumb, 'cause you keep blaming Trump for your problems.
Side effects of Trump derangement syndrome may include violent behavior, delusions, nightmares, insomnia, irrational hatred, hopelessness, anxiety, depression, blue hair, tantrums, inability to form coherent speech, difficulty maintaining gainful employment, and verbal diarrhea.
There's no cure in sight.